James Turner for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so it's fight week. Big fight in the featherweight division. As I've said many times, 2024 was, and will continue to be the year of the featherweight division. And I think 2025 will probably be the same thing too. But 2024 has been a great year for this weight class. So many classic fights, so many great moments. It's been delivering on all fronts this year, and it's gonna go out with a bang. It's gonna go out this year the way it went out last year, with Robeisy Ramirez and Rafael Espinoza fighting again in a rematch for the WBO title. It's a very significant fight for the weight class, and now I want to go ahead and get this on record, because I've been going back and forth as to what do I think with this fight. Like, who am I picking to win? In the first fight, I was very confident about Espinoza winning. I picked Espinoza to win the first fight. But this fight's a little different, you know. Espinoza has become champion. He's defended the belt once against Sergio Chirino Sanchez, and there's a lot of talk about Espinoza going up to 130 to fight up there, and that's not unexpected from my end, because one look at Espinoza and you ask yourself, how the hell did he make featherweight in the first place to fight Robeisy? He's so big and tall and lanky for the weight class. So that's always been a question. That's always been something that I thought was going to be a problem for him long term as champion at featherweight. And the top rank executives are talking about him going up to 130, and with them talking about that already, it leads me to believe that internally there's some things going on that they know with Espinoza cutting weight. And even weight problems aside, if we just go back and dissect the first fight, because I've watched it a couple times. I've watched it about 3 or 4 times since it happened. If you go back and you watch the fight, there were some key moments in that fight, like Robeisy dropped Espinoza. Espinoza could barely get up and almost fell off the ring trying to get up. And I think that Rafael Espinoza, he was very fortunate that Robeisy didn't have a little more in the tank to get him out of there. And credit to him, he weathered the storm. He showed the heart of a true champion, and he caught a second wind, and he was able to outwork and get a late knockdown and squeak out a good win against Robeisy to become champion. And he deserves so much credit for that, because nobody knew who he was a year ago at this time. That's just the truth. But I do think the dynamic of this fight is a lot different. I think Espinoza is having some problems making weight. That's why Top Rank's talking about him moving up to 130. And I just think Robeisy too, with him being as skilled of a fighter as he is, he's shown in his career, because he lost, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure, he lost his pro debut, and he came back and he reeled off a ton of wins in a row to become champion again. So he's shown mental resilience in his career. He's shown the ability to make adjustments. Robeisy Ramirez, I also think, you know, he doesn't got to do a whole lot different in the rematch than he did the first fight. I think he needs to manage his stamina a little better in the early rounds. But this time, if he does get Espinoza hurt, he's got to finish him. And he knows that, you know. And I think this time, if he does get Espinoza hurt, he is going to finish him, because Robeisy Ramirez, if we go back about a year ago, before the Espinoza fight, there were talks of him being one of the leaders in the queue to potentially get an Inoue fight. There was talks about him doing a unification fight with Venado Lopez, you know. So there's a lot of things have changed in his career over the last year, and I think he gets it right this fight. I think he's going to get it right this fight. And I think he's going to counterpunch Espinoza. I think he's going to punch him between the shots this time. I think this time his skills, his IQ, they all come into play more than the first fight. Because the first fight, you know, I think he had been winning for a long time. There was talk about Inoue. He had fought on the Inoue Fulton undercard as co-main event against Shimizu. I think that was the guy's name. Yeah, he fought against him, and he was right there to get the fight. And it all went up in smoke when he lost to Espinoza. So I think he gets it right. And I'm being unbiased here, because I like Espinoza a lot. Espinoza is one of my favorite featherweights. I would like to see Espinoza win again. I'm a fan of him. I know his manager, Roberto. Rafael Espinoza has always been very kind and good to me as someone in the media. So I got nothing against Rafael Espinoza. These are just my unbiased thoughts on boxing. Robeisy Ramirez is the more skillful fighter. He is the guy with the higher amateur pedigree. He is the guy that is also like he's very explosive in his own right. I think, and the thing about Espinoza, and I continue to harp on this when people talk about Espinoza fighting Inoue and beating Inoue, or fighting Angelo Leo and beating Angelo Leo. I continue to harp on this in those videos, and I'll harp on this now. I think that Espinoza in his defense, because he keeps his head right on the center line. He fights in a manner where he routinely gives up his size and reach advantage. And so his head's there on the center line to not just get hit, but get hit with big explosive shots. And I think that same trend's going to continue. I'm looking at punches from Espinoza, or from Robeisy, like the right hook again landing. I'm looking at potentially if he dips down, because sometimes when he crowds you, when Espinoza crowds his opponent, sometimes he closes the gap, he crowds them, and then he bends his knees and he goes like that. So if he crowds him like this and he goes like that, I see the uppercut coming down the middle from Espinoza, the left uppercut. So left uppercut, right hook, those are key punches for Robeisy that I think are going to work in this fight. And this time I think he wins. And I think he's going to finish him. I think Espinoza is going to give, or Robeisy is going to give Espinoza a parting shot from the featherweight division and get him up out of here, send him to 130. And then look, the beautiful thing for Espinoza is win or lose, like no matter what happens this fight, he's been champion, he's achieved his dream. Regardless, and if he goes to 130, he's got a couple fights there waiting for him. He's got a potential Venado Lopez fight, which I think would be a great fight, because that was supposed to be a unification fight at featherweight at one point in time. I think they could do that fight at 130 where both guys will be hydrated. You got that fight. You got maybe Espinoza versus the winner of Valdez Navarrete too, who they're on the same card with. So there's Mexican showdowns awaiting him at 130. Regardless of what happens in this fight. And also, we'll throw in Eduardo Sugar Nunez, who can't seem to get a big fight. I wouldn't even mind seeing that fight. That'd be very explosive. So you got like 3 Mexicans potentially waiting for him at 130, regardless what happens with this fight. So he's in a win-win position regardless. If he wins this fight, it's the perfect way to end his featherweight run and then go to 130. If he loses, well, that's okay too, because there's still lucrative fights with other countrymen waiting at 130. But I just think Robeisy is going to make the adjustments, and everything he did right in the first fight early on, he's going to do all that at a better level in this fight and come out victorious. And maybe I'll be wrong. I've been right plenty of times here on YouTube. I've been wrong my fair share of times here on YouTube, but that's the fun part about this. You put yourself out there and you go ahead and you have fun with it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is there anybody out there in the world that agrees with me, who's picking Robeisy Ramirez? My heart wants Rafael Espinoza to win. I like Rafael Espinoza, but my mind says Robeisy Ramirez. So I'm gonna go with my brain. I'm gonna go with the unemotional part of myself. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys click right over here.
Keep watching my boy BT put on the best interviews out here.